I love the makeup of this team. And I just spoke to Eric Owens a minute ago. He was working with the hitters in the cage. And Michael Saunders is here, and Tulowitzki's here, and Goins is here. And, everybody is in camp ready to go. He says there is a different aura about this team. He said in that clubhouse, you can feel it already. And we haven't even started. Devin Travis is here. He's trying to get his shoulder right. Drew Hutchison threw great today in the side session, and he's very focused, and he's a tremendous competitor. And don't discount Drew Hutchison.
Mm-hmm.
He understands what's at stake, and he wants that spot in the rotation. And whether it's 1 or 5, he doesn't care. But, I love the competition. Sanchez and Stroman through their side session next to each other today. And quite honestly, they both look like they could start right now. And Owens and I were both complimenting, along with Dane Johnson, how all of the pitchers have come into camp. Jay Happ's here. Jesse Chavez is here. And everybody is chomping at the bit. They got a taste last year, and I think they want to finish that meal.
There was a lot of discussion when the Jays acquired Jay Happ about the changes he'd made under Ray Searage in Pittsburgh. Were you able to detect those changes watching him today?
I didn't really see a whole lot different. I as we get to it, and Jay and I had a chance to visit just a little bit, he's excited about being here. And he had a great second half of the season. But, then again, he is well aware what it is pitching in the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen it time and time again. Don't get too excited about numbers you see in the National League. And as much as you talk about the great teams in the National League, pitching in the East is different. It's a different animal. Smaller ballparks, tough lineups. And Jay has done it. He understands that. And you know what? Another guy that's kind of interesting is Gavin Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
He's here already. And he's dealt with injury after injury. And he and Jay Happ were teammates with the Phillies way back when. But, there's a lot of depth here. And all of a sudden you go, who's that guy? And how can this guy help? But, I think that it's really kind of interesting to watch this team unfold. And, I don't think anybody's going to jump to conclusions, but this is the best offensive team in baseball. They're going to have Tua for a full season. They've got Donaldson coming off an MVP. They've got their 2 sluggers both looking at free agency, and they're motivated to have great seasons. And Goins has confidence now. Pillar's had a year under his belt. So I think there are a lot of good things, and probably more good things than bad things with this team right now.
How's Michael Saunders looked? And again, I know early days, but how has he looked? How has he sounded, maybe more importantly?
Oh, he's got a big smile on his face, and Eric Owens told him, don't go over to that practice facility and work out in that outfield, okay? So they both had a chuckle about that. Of course, that's where he got hurt last year, but he looks great. He's in great shape and obviously very motivated. And, Michael hasn't had very many full seasons, and he's kind of dealt with injuries his whole life. So I think everybody is anxious to see him put together a full spring and a full season and see what he's capable of doing. And, of course, Dalton Pompey is here. He's ready to go. And we saw in the postseason what he can do with his wheels. And you know what? I think he's in the competition for left field. And, down the road, maybe he becomes the leadoff guy sometime down the road in the next couple of years. But, right now I think it's a tremendously upbeat camp. And I saw John Gibbons. He just walked in and he started shaking hands and saying hello to everybody. So, there's a lot of good things going on here in Dunedin.